In Northern Ontario and rural parts of the province can't keep their roads and bridges open, can't find homes they can afford, don't have access to health care, their classrooms are overcrowded, and you have a premier, the premier talks about protecting Ontario. I think we need to protect Ontario from Doug Ford's attack on our nature, our farmland, the places we love in Ontario.
Has the environment and climate change taken a backseat? Is that an afterthought in 2025?
Well, I actually think that our plan to build 2 million homes that people can afford in the communities they know and love both addresses people's affordability concerns, which is the number one issue I hear at the door, their anxiety around economic uncertainty that we're facing, and climate. Because if you actually build homes that people can afford and they can avoid long, expensive commutes, it reduces pollution, it protects the places we love, and it makes your life more affordable.
Can we get your reaction on Ford's Sparky comment?
Yeah, you know what? I think I made it very clear tonight or today that a premier who says he's actually going to throw people experiencing homelessness in jail, combined with a premier who appears to be making jokes about bringing back the death penalty, is not the kind of premier that's going to build the caring, fair Ontario that I believe the people of this province want. I think it is cruel for this premier to make jokes about the death penalty and to talk about putting people experiencing homelessness in jail. We have more humane, more loving and caring solutions we can provide, especially when it comes to housing people, our neighbors, moms, dads, sons, daughters, nieces, and nephews who need help. And we need a premier who's not going to make jokes about the death penalty.
This campaign, it seems like your biggest fight is over 3 ridings, primarily. Why should people in the rest of the province vote Green?
Well, I think the Ontario Greens are fighting hard in a number of ridings where we have local champions who are going to be the voice of their constituents, advocating for people in their ridings over being the voice of the leader or the premier in their riding. I look at ridings like Parry Sound, Muskoka. I tell Matt Richter all the time, I'm not your boss. The premier's not your boss. The people of Parry Sound, Muskoka is your boss. Wellington, Halton Hills, Bronwyn Wilton, a local councillor, who be a strong advocate, especially on food and farming issues. Bruce Grey Sound, local councillor Joe Lougheed. Again, another local champion who's going to be the advocate for his community, not the leader's voice in his riding. I look at Dufferin-Caledon, former mayor of Orangeville, Sandy Brown. We have Chris Rivard right here, and Timiskaming running for us. We have a number of strong candidates all around the province. And what separates Green candidates from all 3 of the other parties, we're not a leader-centric party. I'm not their boss. You, their constituents, are their boss.
Mike, can I get your comment on Doug Ford's saying he won't build a house on a blade of grass or a dandelion or whatever that was?
Yeah, I think if there's anyone on the stage today, and if you listen at Queen's Park, the person who has been the boldest on delivering solutions to address the housing crisis has been the Ontario Greens and Mike Schreiner. I'm the one who's trying to get Doug Ford to say yes to removing the zoning rules that prevent us from building homes that people can afford in the communities they love. I'm the one trying to get the premier to say yes to a first-time homebuyers plan to take fees off and taxes off of homes to save first-time homebuyers up to $150,000 while at the same time having an affordable communities fund so that municipalities have the money to build infrastructure. I'm the one who's been telling Doug Ford we have to protect renters. I'm the one who's been telling him we have to build affordable and deeply affordable nonprofit co-op and supportive housing. He said no to all those things. So for the premier to stand up here and say, I'm not interested in building homes is absolutely wrong. And I would say to the people of this province, we need a premier who's going to say yes to housing. I'm that person.
Can I get a comment from just to follow up on that? Sorry. Was it a lie, what he said about you not wanting to build homes on grass?
I want to build homes, and some of those homes will be built on grass. They will be built on dandelions. They will be built in the communities we love. I don't want you to have to move away from the community you grew up in, or I don't want you to have a long, expensive commute to get to work. I want you to have an affordable home close to your family, close to where you grew up, close to where you work.
Can I get a comment from you on a topic not addressed today, post-secondary education at Ontario colleges?
Yeah, no, it is a critical issue. And when I talked about especially the importance of modernizing the forestry sector, but I would say work and the importance of training workers, not only in forestry, construction, nursing, healthcare, across the board, the cuts we're seeing to post-secondary education is going to do real damage to students. You're already seeing colleges in this province closing down programs, critical programs that are necessary for training workers and making our economy good. The Ontario Greens have a plan to start restoring the base budget funding back to our colleges and universities. Our young people deserve that. It's critically important to our economy. But unfortunately, under the Ford government, you're seeing college and university programs cut, and you're seeing it becoming increasingly more difficult for students to even get admitted into college and university.
One last question. Mr. Schreiner?
Yep.
Sorry, you did a whole bit on northern issues today. Talked about highway safety.
Yes.
Not one of you mentioned the carnage on the northern highways caused by poorly trained drivers, especially those in transport trucks.
Yep.
What do you have to say about that, sir?
Yeah, we absolutely need to have standardized MTO testing of transport truck drivers. We have to ensure those drivers are properly trained, can pass tests, and are safe on our roads, because we've seen far too much carnage on northern highways, and far too often it's transport trucks that are involved in that.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, everyone.